I want to get to the second topic, and that's the big story coming at us ahead of Venom: The Last Dance. So the people over at Sony were asked about Knull and how big of an impact is he in this film, and they just straight up said he's actually not a big factor because this is the start of Knull's arc, and we
These
all,
guys
yeah,
watched how Marvel did Thanos.
hmm
And like people like it when they don't get out of the chair.
yeah.
That's gonna be it. This man is a post-credit scene. He's not moving from that chair.
Just watch. I bet you that scene of him sitting on the throne and looking up is literally going to be before it cuts to black.
100%.
It's like Sony just did their thing where they're like, we use the last scene and we toss it right into the first trailer because that's Sony. So
he is the king of black. You know, you gotta.
He is, yeah.
Gotta do it at the end of the movie. Can't wait for him to appear in Kraven or.
It's Spider-Man. There's no way it's Kraven. There's no chance. Absolutely zero. If they do drop him in Kraven, that'd be the funniest thing they've ever done.
What would he even do? Like, what Kraven is going to have to drink more like lion juice to get enough power to fight Knull? Like, what's he going to do? You know?
I would pull the funniest shit ever. You give Kraven a symbiote for the third act, and then you kill him off. Make Kraven a one and done movie. That's the only reason that movie exists.
Well, I mean, it's insane that Sony is betting so big on that film. Like,
I ain't got anything else.
That's true as well. And we know Beyond the Spider-Verse is at least a decade away at this point by all counts. So,
no.
Yeah. So, okay. So the bigger Knull story here, to me at least, is he's clearly, and I mean clearly, going to the MCU. That's got to be the arc.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So do you think he shows up at like the end of Doomsday because the next Spider-Man film is coming after Doomsday, but before Secret Wars? So is Spider-Man 4 just going to be like a Battle World Sony film?
That depends on where they set Spider-Man 4, right? I could quite easily jump it back, but
yeah,
it would surprise me if he's in Battle World and everything.
Yeah, because my idea was they're gonna do the same thing they did with like Ant-Man 2. You know, Spider-Man has his own plot, post-credit scene, whatever, multiverse mumbo jumbo, and then Sony has a little extra credit scene. Be like, he's gonna come back to our universe. Can't wait. No, and you're like, oh, okay. Not even the scene. That's gonna be like the text. That's what it's gonna say. Knull is coming. Ha ha.
Knull is coming.
He's back with us.
Is there a reality here where Sony is going to be like, look, Spider-Man 4, we want everybody. We're putting in Madam Web. We're putting in Morbius. We want them all.
It's like you called me a slur. That's not what I want.
You mentioned Madam Web. That's a slur. Man.
Yeah, you watch. They'll bring Knull over to Spider-Man 4 just so they can be in Battle World, just so they can get the Necro Sword. Because we know that was in Thor. They'll get a symbiote on it. Spider-Man will have a sword.
Isn't the Necro Sword in the amazing film called Eternals?
No, you're thinking of the Ebony Blade. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm confused.
Fake fan. Actual
My bad.
fan.
I mean, they're both called Black, so.
That's true.
No, one's Necro, one's dead. No.
Okay,
But Black is the color black is associated with the dead, so.
I mean,
now, okay, when I read this news, a part of my brain went, what would Sony try to do? And how do you bring back all the Spider-Man? And I was like, they're going to Back to the Future this, where it's going to be like, Knull attacks Spider-Man No Way Home. And then it's going to be like a permutation of the events of that film with the same character so they can bring everybody back. And then they're like, you remember how they were all in the sky? They're all actually going to rein in and fight Knull right there at that time. And I'm like, that seems like the easiest out that Sony could ever do, because it's like, it just writes itself.
That also gets rid of the spell. No one forgets.
Yeah. Like that was my whole thing.
I hate that you're right. I hate it. No,
that's never. A Sony thing. No. That's a Sony thing. You know it.
No, I hate it. This show's officially ending. We're never doing another one. No.
We're just done. Before the Sony guy. The Sony guy listening to this is just jotting ideas constantly.
No.
If this happens, I will be mad.
Why can't he ever take the good ideas? Is what I'm wondering.
The implication would be we had any involving Sony. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, what do we think of Knull in general as well, it's not a phase villain, so I guess it's a multiverse chapter villain. Is that what you call him?
Knull would be a really good phase villain. If there was a world
Yeah,
that
I
existed where
agree.
we had like Peter and Miles and everything was together and it had the actual setup and it wasn't just thrown in if it wasn't Norman Reedus, he could be a really good phase villain, but we don't have any of that.
Well, okay. Would you rather have had Norman Reedus as Knull or Johnny Blaze?
Damn.
Because this is picking your poison, right? It's like Knull is going to go away. Johnny Blaze would remain. So it's kind of like, you know?
You can ignore Blaze.
Just like most people do. So that's, yeah. I just want to know how Venom is going to factor into this with Knull, because it means Venom's got to factor into it. There's no way they drop Tom Hardy, you know? It's like...
Unless they go with Flash Thompson.
Yeah. It's the last Eddie Brock Venom movie. It's the next one's the first Flash Thompson Eddie Brock or Flash Thompson.
Yeah, because that's what I thought of when he said this is my last run with like the big guy, and I was like, oh, but then once they started talking about Knull and all those other things, I was like, oh, so a Venom has to have happened regardless.
Yeah.
So, and if it's not with Tom Hardy, a Flash Thompson, Scorpion is still a thing. I don't know, Matt Gargan.
Yeah.
Venom's always going to be done by Tom Hardy as well. It's just not going to be Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Let's say AI's voice because that's Sony. So
yeah, that's true too. And realistically, bringing in the symbiote or the symbiote that's left over in the MCU, if they find a way to attach it to Flash Thompson, why not? And then maybe we could get both, because I feel like we're gonna get Tom Hardy at least as Venom to do scenes with Tom Holland, because he kind of has to. They both wanted it so bad for all 3 films, but they couldn't get it done. So
yeah, that's going to be the credit scene.
Yeah.
You can only have Venom and Spider-Man in the credit scene at the minute, so
I could see it. So, any closing thought on this before we move from Knull? Anything?
I wanted it, but I don't. This was monkey pawed for me. So.
Yeah. Yep.
I just want it to be good.
I got some bad news for you.
It could be one of those things where you like it's bad, but you enjoy it. But I just want it to be, if we're already on this terrible streak, just make it, like give
it can't be any worse than the last one. There is that.
What was the last one, Madam Web?
Carnage.
I was just talking about Sony.
I was talking about Venom.
Yeah, it's Madam Web and Morbius, and it can't be any worse than that. Let's be real. The Venom.
They only made the 3 characters.
Yep. Because remember, El Muerto fell through, and so then
yeah.
I mean, he was regaining Kraven. It could get worse.
Nobody wants to talk about Kraven. That's just kind of a fact right here. So,
not even Aaron Taylor Johnson wants to talk about Kraven.
Dude, there hasn't been a single interview.
No.
It's like they.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're right. Oh no.
When is that movie out? I can't remember.
Like second week of December. Yeah, it's.
They made Kraven a Christmas movie.
It's like 6 to 7 weeks out, and yeah.
Yeah, bro. Sony set it up for failure because it's gonna die against Lion King 2 and Sonic 3.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's dying against Sonic 3. Let's be honest.
Dude, the
Kraven is losing to animals.
It's true. All the animals, even Rhino's gonna beat him in that film. So,
oh no.
I guess we'll see what happens next. So stay tuned, and we'll talk about Venom and Kraven soon enough, I suppose. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video. And as always, you can like, subscribe, share, do whatever you will. Check out the recommended video that's popped up somewhere on the screen. And also, if you would like additional content, including more discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer to the members section, which has new videos going up all the time.